Welcome to our Market Research Podcast. It's the one that got recognition in 2019 and again in 2020 is named one of the very best in the marketing research field. It's called Research Business Report. You can call it a video cast, a podcast, whatever you like, but it's a service that has delivered the top research news of the day since its inception in February 2012. And today, it is recognized as the research industry's only daily research video report. So enjoy this RBDR and any of our other regular reports. But we ask you to please lend your support for this research news video series. How do you do that? Well, do you see on the screen to your right the online location where you can go to make a contribution? Try it. I'm Bob Lederer, and I'm in my 26th year as the respected voice in market research. Thomas M. Rich and Associate CEO Tom Rich knows that researchers, for some reason, are known to decline to share their knowledge and expertise when it comes to stimuli with their clients. But he's not one of those people, and he opts to provide and explain two immutable market research principles with respect to stimuli to his clients. And Tom is here to share those insights with us today in that area. Tom?
Thanks, Bob. Lately, I've been doing a lot of research that involves showing new product concepts, web pages, packaging mockups, and other types of stimuli to potential users and consumers. I know of researchers who take a hands-off approach with respect to stimuli. They don't get involved in their creation. They just show them. That approach doesn't work for me. My feeling is that researchers have an obligation to share their knowledge and expertise when it comes to creating stimuli. So I've always been willing to provide feedback to my clients on the stimuli they create, and they're receptive to my suggestions. With that in mind, here are two immutable market research principles when creating research stimuli. The first principle is that research participants can only respond to something that's in front of them. It's difficult for most people to form an opinion on something that's entirely hypothetical. If you need to understand what flavors consumers might be interested in for your sports drink, don't expect them to tell you. They're going to need a list of flavors to evaluate. If you want to know what menu options users want on your webpage, your mock-up better include an example so they have something to react to. And if you want to know how much they might be willing to pay for that sports drink, your concept will need to include some sort of pricing information. There's no sense in asking, how much would you pay? As that's rarely a question to which consumers can provide a meaningful answer. In other words, people can't generally tell you what they want. You need to show them something you think they might want and see if they agree. The second principle is a corollary to that first one we just discussed. It's that research participants cannot help but respond to everything that's in front of them. In other words, reactions to a stimulus will be shaped by the entirety of that stimulus. And there isn't any reliable way to tease apart the elements that drove that reaction. That's like trying to unscramble an egg. So if you don't want to talk about price, if that's not relevant to your research objectives, then don't include a price on your concept. It might be necessary to include some language about how the product is priced similarly to other category items, but that's probably about as far as you should go. If you're not interested in getting feedback on your snappy new brand logo, don't include it on your webpage wireframe. If you don't want to find yourself mired in a detailed discussion on color options, don't show any options. In other words, stimuli must focus tightly on your research objectives and not include any extraneous information. The more a stimulus contains, the more likely it is to contain things that are unnecessary, and the more likely that respondents will be confused or distracted by issues not relevant to the research. What's more, don't include more information in your stimulus than you could realistically include in real-world marketing executions. If there's only room for 1 or 2 claims on your new package, please don't put 5 into your concept. Remember, a stimulus is just another way to ask a question. It's the way we ask a question when a direct query won't work. So like every question asked in qualitative research, it should be laser focused on your research objectives and must contain the right amount of detail, not too much, not too little. A poorly asked question will never yield usable information, so keeping these two principles in mind will ensure that the questions you ask in the form of stimuli will enable insightful research.
That's a wrap on today's Research Business Daily Report. We'd like to ask you a small favor before you leave us today. RBDR has been nominated, along with the numerous other market research podcasts, for the title of 2021 Market Research Podcast of the Year. You can examine the description box underneath today's RBDR and click on the link that will take you to a page where you can cast your vote. Voting is open until Tuesday, August the 31st, but please do so today, even right now if you can. And I've been told you only get one vote, so please make it count. Thank you for viewing today's RBDR video. We hope that it has given you some appreciation for the work that we do, and that you'll thereby consider becoming an RBDR Patreon supporter. Please visit our exclusive crowdfunding platform at patreon.com/RBDR. Hoping that you have a good research day. We will look forward to seeing you back here with us again tomorrow. And wherever you are, please stay safe.